Hello, investors. Monday, May 24th. Wanted to give you guys an update on the $2,500 challenge and a general account overview. I'll start with my Webull account here. Update you guys on Neo was one I know I had mentioned I wanted to update everybody on. I have a covered call on Neo. I have a $65 credit for selling that. Its current price is 79 cents. That's in terms of premium. So if I would have waited to sell it, I could have made a bit more. But I am selling above my cost basis. So if they happen to get called away, I'm okay with that. Workhorse, I know I mentioned in one of my last videos. I've been letting, as an option seller, I actually have Theta on my side as slowly eating away at the other person on the other end. I still am in a position where I could be assigned, but as I said, I am considering a rolling strategy on these, and will likely be purchasing them back before the end of the week. Have a covered call on Plug. I sold that for $70 credit. If I would have waited, I could have made a bit more, but I'm selling above my cost basis. So if they get called away, that will be a profit. Kind of similar stories as we go down the line. More Theta farming type things where I'm selling covered calls. Mara and Riot, they're still quite a bit down, but I found some call prices in June that didn't have too bad of premium. Waiting for a bigger green day on Canaan, another Bitcoin miner. So, similar stories down here. Selling covered calls, waiting them out. Selling covered calls, waiting them out. Sundial, a bit more interesting. I had purchased in quite a bit higher, and since it has fallen, I used some of my money to average my cost down now that it is very low, and found a covered call, or several covered calls, that are above my cost basis, and got a $50 in premium for that. And again, if they get called away, hoping for a profit there. I did a similar thing with Zom. Zomedica does not have options, but because the price was so low, I decided to go ahead and average down. I have a sell order in for above my cost basis, and it's a good till cancel, so that'll be good for the next 90 days. So even if it doesn't sell by then, I have this as an asset. It's not like Theta's going to be eating me away. So that's the Webull side of things. So let's go ahead and get into the more focused $2,500 challenge account. Last time I had this account up for you guys, I had a short position on Smith & Wesson. That ended up getting me a small profit, only $15, but I'm not very familiar with shorts, so I wasn't comfortable holding it for a very long time. You can see here I had some losses on the SPY and the Qs. I thought I had seen something that it was going to go down, and it moved a bit higher, so those... Let's see if I can get my order history up. Now this is probably going to be quite large because all the cancels and all that, so I haven't filtered through this, so I'm going to spare the details on that. Suffice it to say, I took a loss aiming for some puts that it ended up continuing up. So over the weekend, I had done some investigating on futures, because futures are not subject to the pattern day trader rule, and I used up my day trades on the SPY. You can see here I have 0 day trades left, but I saw that today was going to be a green day for the SPY, and basically these two symbols here are the mini futures and the standard futures for... There may be another level. I'm just now kind of learning about futures, so I don't have the vocabulary to explain the difference between the mini. It's all about how leveraged it is and what each tick is worth. So basically, if this one goes up $1, you can gain $5. If this one goes up $1, you can gain 50. Now that's very high overview. It's way more complicated than that, and there's a lot I don't understand about it. But I want to show the charts for those and talk through what happened. And I still don't have... Obviously, I came out with a profit. It made up for the losses I had, which is nice. But my timing is still a bit off. I think I am struggling a bit with the win rates. I know a 50% win rate is a good win rate, and if you use risk management of 1.5 to 1 or 2 to 1, you can pay for a loser or multiple losers with a win. And as you can see, I'm barely at a loss because I've had these couple of winners. But when we get into the chart and I talk through my entry points, you'll see that I was kind of struggling with the entry point, because I saw it use... Well, let's get into the chart. So, you can see I've drawn quite a few lines here, and I've kind of noticed that on the 15-minute chart and the daily chart, those seem like tiny moves. I was first playing around with this in the evening one day because futures doesn't close in the evenings. You can trade it basically 24 hours a day. Now there are some stipulations to that, but I was just trying to practice some pattern recognition, and I could see that there's some levels of support at these candles, and on the daily chart it looks quite crowded, but we were definitely in an uptrend, had a pull back up, second trough here, and up. Now, tomorrow being Tuesday, I imagine more than likely it's going to push back down. I actually had some puts today that paid because it started to fall at the end of the day. And you'll notice that this 4,200 level, there's a psychological level there. So this thing has kind of hit this top channel, maybe heading back down. And like I said, I went ahead and sold the puts because I don't know what happens to futures if you hold them overnight, especially since they don't close in the evening. So let's go ahead and switch down to the 15-minute. Zoom in a bit closer on these. So this, as I mentioned, was the evening, and I was just watching. I think I was down at even the 3-minute chart because, as you can see, it barely moves in those after-hour sessions. And you can see here that it has come down. I want to get the data box up so that we can see the date, because it's hard to see. Here we go. So this is Friday, the 21st. I saw it come down late last week, and I was watching it in pre-market today. I had purchased it Friday morning at kind of this high area, and that's what made me tentative about the next time around. I saw this candle come up and then bottom out, and I thought, okay, it's built some support here. It had been going up in those after hours, so it could possibly bust through that resistance. Well, that wasn't the case. Basically went down the rest of the day, and I did hold that. I think my maximum negative on that was about $120. So not the best entry, obviously. So I could see it had come up again and touched that line again. And basically, it was fear of repeating that again today of why I sold. It came up above and I made a profit and I got out. Basically missing all of this uptrend for all day today. Now, later in the afternoon, I seen that it had come up here and had stalled out at these, 4,200 levels, 4,204, 4,205 area. See that? So the top of that candle, 42.06 and 25 cents, because there is no fractions beyond the quarter. It's 25, 50, 75, or 00, even dollar. So that is where I bought my put this afternoon, and I let it fall down here, and that's where I sold it for a profit that you saw in my account statement. So as a trader, obviously, in hindsight, I would have loved to have stayed in and sold that. But because my previous experience with this line, this resistance level, I got in right before a pullback. So this could have easily been a double top, one top here, one top there, and it could have fallen today. Now, it did have some good volume, better volume than Friday, so maybe I could have used that as the indication to hold it. So, since tomorrow is Tuesday, many people say Tuesdays are statistically redder days of the week. I haven't personally seen any studies that say that, but just from like anecdotal evidence and coupled with the levels it's currently at, tomorrow, being Tuesday, could be a down day. So I'm going to watch it in pre-market, and if it's up here and has a similar pattern as this at this resistance, I might go in for more puts. Now again, that's not very scientific because it's just my personal observation and anecdotal evidence. Now I'm sure there are plenty of studies that would say the Tuesday effect is statistically significant. So I'm just gonna go with my gut on that and watch the price action in the morning, because we're at a psychological level of 4,200. And if we zoom out a bit, you can see its highs are 4,240. So if we want to get back up there in the next bull run, we'll need to pull back and build support in this channel to push back through. Similar to the way it did back here. We had big up, pulled back, another big up, couldn't break through that resistance, and fell down. And has slowly been churning back up. It's got some nice support here now. This is going to act as support for at least some time. Again, we're only on the 15-minute chart. But this is, several days worth of information. That looks quite a bit different on the daily chart. Zoom into the daily real quick. On the daily, all of those lines look very crowded. But you can see it's telling a similar story. The highs being up here. This is resistance. It's fallen down. Hit that resistance. Hit that resistance. And now it's come up. So this uptrend has pushed it, at the very least, into this channel. You can see how tall these candles are. So this candle today was very, very small. Kind of an indecision candle. So tomorrow will be telling. Tomorrow, after an indecision candle, if it does break above and has good leverage up there, that could be a good indication that that channel will be more in play. If it falls back down to these levels, basically it would need to build energy to stay up here. So, not the cleanest chart, but let's double check some other indicators. Now on the daily, if we look at the MACD, we can see that this is an indication of bullish sentiment. It's crossing back up. But it hasn't crossed yet. And what I've seen is, in my little bit of trading, I've taken some trades before a definitive cross and then felt like I had to sit and watch like a hawk because I didn't have full confirmation. Now, I did make some money today, which is nice. I'm back to essentially even. I'm down about $5. But it was those trades that I took without confirmation that caused me those losses. I did not see enough evidence to make those purchases to say that it was going to go down. And on this daily chart, there's still not a lot of evidence that it will be held down. So again, when in doubt, zoom out, double bottom, and up. The next move to continue the bull trend will be a small pullback on a Tuesday, more than likely. So again, I'm going to be very cautious tomorrow, but these are interesting levels. This is an interesting pattern. And the more I learn about this trading style with trading futures, I'll make sure to put things out. Are some of the things that we know about options on standard stocks applicable? Can we do things like covered calls or cash secured puts on futures? That's all I've done so far, is purchase them outright, sell them outright, and buy a put. And it paid me when it went down, just like a put on a stock would. So I'm going to be looking over the next few days at, in the on-demand feature, I've been practicing my techniques of these pattern recognitions and trading styles. So, to not risk my actual money for this $2,500 challenge, I'll be using the Thinkorswim's on-demand feature to go back in time and trade some trades, even if those trades would be above what my real account value is. I think the experience of placing those trades and seeing what an outcome would be, and then using that technique for trades that are within my price range. So, move my data box again. But yeah, I just wanted to update the $2,500 challenge. Hasn't moved. It went down and back up. So, kind of came out as a wash, which I thank the lessons I learned on risk management for even being at this level. So, because I used the risk management strategy, I did not lose more than that. And it essentially paid, my winner paid for my loser. So even though I didn't have the greatest entry points and I had some market fear because of my past mistakes, I still was able to pay for those mistakes with a win. So that is my next personal challenge, just from a mentality point of view, is the 50% win rate is difficult mentally, because most of your life you think you've gone to school and you always want to get good grades, right? What is 50% in school? That's an F. That's failing. So it's hard mentally to prepare yourself after that many years of that being in your head of 50% is failing to be okay with a 50% win rate. As my entries get better, hopefully my win rate gets better. If I maintain that good risk to reward ratio, those entry points, I will slowly learn to see that they have more leeway. I have been telling myself more and more that you're not going to miss it. Whatever, and that's the problem I've personally been having, is I'm in a rush because I think I'm going to miss it. There are more trading opportunities on a different ticker, on a different day. And that mentality, I think, is going to help my overall win rate. So I'm going to call this a day today. And if you guys have any questions, suggestions, let me know. May all your trades be profitable and your margin never be called.